October the 7th should be remembered as an anti-colonial uprising. In a moment in which there has been 76 plus years of occupation, we must remember that whenever you have oppression, you will get uprisings and resistance. And October the 7th exposed to the world what the Palestinians have been enduring for such a long time. This is not a conflict between Muslims and Jews. This is a conflict of settler colonialism, of imperialism. However, religion is not divorced or absent from this struggle, because the foundations of the international world order, or the foundations of modernity, constitutes Black, Indigenous, Brown, Muslim as the other, as the enemy, as a place and people in which force is allowed and sanctified upon their bodies. Because think of the language of barbarians. We are fighting a war of civilizations. If you were to remove the person speaking, you would think you're picking up a 16th century colonial manual speaking about Africans and indigenous people and brown people. The technologies and processes are exactly the same. At the United Nations General Assembly of this year, which was held a week ago, there was not a single African leader that did not raise the question of Palestine. And this is not by chance, coincidence, mistake. There is a recognition that the histories that constituted Africa as the other, the histories that inaugurated Africa into modernity as a colonial opposite, Africa is constantly objectified. These are the same technologies and processes that inflict the Palestinians today. And as Joseph Massad said, Palestine has the unfortunate experience of being the first and the last British colony. What the Palestinian struggle teaches us is that those of us who Fanon calls the wretched of the earth, those of us who bear the bruises of colonialism, those of us who are victims of Western imperialism, our histories and our fate are intertwined. And there can be no Pan-African future. There can be no liberatory horizon. There can be no emancipatory future if Israel is allowed to act with such impunity. Palestine holds up a mirror to the world and asks us what type of world we want to live in. Can we live in a world in which every multilateral institution in the world is rubbished? And I think with the raised levels of consciousness of students around the world, particularly in the West, it is a time of when we see coming off the legacies and the afterlives of the BLM raising of consciousness, what BLM did to so many student movements. And we're seeing this as another instantiation of that heightened consciousness. We're understanding what anti-imperialist means, what settler colonial means, what US hegemony means. And we're challenging these in the belly of the beast, in the heart of empire.